Well, good morning, all you grand counselors, all the all you hearts and heartists, and thank you for joining us as we explore what the Grand Council is and means and how we might all participate within it. It's it's really exciting the growth and joy
Joy.
that is emerging. I'm just really excited for it all. So, in this moment, let's just take some deep breaths together to get started. Oh, wait. Carol's in the room. We'll admit Carol. Welcome, Carol. We're inviting everyone to put their name and email address in the chat to start with.
Okay.
Okay, and then I'm going to light my little blue lotus candle here and invite us all to take a deep breath together through your nose. Breath in. Hold it and release everything that is not who we are right here, right now. Take another breath in. Hold it and feel the presence of each other. Look in each other's eyes as we exhale that breath and really see one another. See who we are. Feel our united hearts. One more breath as we really join our hearts together in a heart hug in this space. Breath in and hold. And feel it flow out from your heart, connecting with every other heart here. Sweet. And to start with, we're just going to go around the room and say who we are and where we are. And if we know the native history of our land, we can say that. And maybe just a word or two about what brings you to this Zoom of all the Zooms we have. So I'm Mayana Kingery. I'm the administrator here, and I am in Stewart, Virginia, USA, on lands that were originally populated by the Wolf Creek clan of the Cherokee tribe. And one more thing. Let me make sure we're all on the same view, that everybody sees the same view. And we'll start with Susan. And we're going to spiral around from Susan to Gail, Pamela, Kalina, Rachel, Maria, Pam, grandmother Sharon, Carol, and back up to Sandra for this first round. Susan.
I'm Susan Meeker Lowry. I live in Duanesburg, New York, which is about half an hour west of Albany. I know that many native tribes lived here who were part of the Iroquois Federation. And I'm here to see where else I might fit in and what circle I want to participate in addition to what I'm already doing.
And Gail.
My name is Gail Crosmas. I'm in Ontario, Canada. I'm on the edge of the wilderness here in Northern Ontario, near Algonquin Park, which is thousands and thousands of acres of wilderness. We're in Black Bear country. That's why my name is Black Bear. This is Algonquin territory here for the past 10, 15,000 years. And I moved and grew up in Anishinaabe territory, where my grandfather is Anishinaabe. So, but I identify more with my father's tribe, which is in Eastern Europe, the Mongolians. So I bring various cultures to the group through my DNA. Thank you.
Sutton? And you're mute. You're still here. I'll unmute you. There.
Name is Pam Sutton. Live in Worcester, Massachusetts, where I was born. It is Nipmuc territory, and I'm very near the shores of Lake Quinsigamond, and was a thriving community of Native Americans, and their presence is still felt in a very small patch in a neighboring town where ceremony continues. And I'm here as many of you are to discern where I might be of the most assistance. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. I'm Kalina. I am Kinsugi woman, and I am living in the Elmer area. It's close to Brantford, Ontario. And I'm just so happy to see that you're here, Gail, too, from Ontario, Canada area. I haven't met anybody else from Canada here, so I'm excited to see you here. Anyway, I live at Brantford is actually very close to where I'm living, in between Oakville and the London area, and they are Grand River Indigenous families and the group of people that live there. But I have a background. I was married to a Punjabi man for 30 years, and I have a big mixed family. I was raised Mennonite, so I've got that culture behind me. And my mother is from Wales, England, right? You know, and then we've got my dad that was all very traditional old order Mennonite. So I've got a lot of different backgrounds in my family and cultures, and I appreciate each one of them. I'm bringing a lot of different kinds of just womanly energy into the group. And the Kintsugi, as many of you likely heard about, is when we've been so broken and we're put back together with God's love. And I'm just sharing that with all of you, and would like to be. Also, I have a Wednesday morning group. If I can share that, can I share that, Mayanna?
We'll do that. We'll do that. Yeah,
Okay,
we'll do that later.
sure.
Thank you, Kalina.
Oh, hello, everyone.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Pam, and I live in Lake St. Louis, Missouri, which is about 4.5, 5 hours southwest of Chicago. And I grew up in India, came here in 1975, learning a lot about different cultures. And I hope what I'm going to say is not offensive, so I apologize if it is. But when I first came here and I would tell people I'm Indian, and they said, "Oh, what tribe?" And I'd say, "Well, I'm from India." And they said, "Oh, you're one of the dots, not the feathers." So,
Line.
yeah. So, no, but I'm also here to figure out where I fit in. I think I have an idea, but I want to kind of explore and see where I can best serve with what time I have. And I'm really excited to be part of this global movement, because it's very empowering. I feel very connected, especially like I feel, even though I haven't been very active here, but I feel a very strong connection with the group. So here I am.
Hello. I think it's my internet that is lagging every now and then. So sorry if I don't respond immediately. I'm Maria Słomkowska. I'm Maria Anna Słomkowska, actually. I started using both of my names a couple of years ago. I am in Warsaw, Poland. So it's getting an evening here. My background is Polish, and my paternal grandmother was Ukrainian. So I have some further Eastern bloodlines as well. I grew up between Europe, North Africa, and Asia. So, and I've been there between 13 and 19. So actually, very formative years. I spend in completely different cultures, religions, language, backgrounds, and with a lot of people that were coming from all over the world. So I have this feeling of having my roots here, but at the same time, you know, being all over the globe with my yeah, so that's how I felt for many years. I didn't know where my home is until I really found it in my heart. So what brings me here is I dreamt about it in 2016. I said out loud in 2016 that I know there is going to be this global women movement. And I didn't know what it was gonna be. Someone asked me, are you going to have a Facebook group? And I said, no, that's not it. It's gonna be massive. I don't know yet. And it was there growing. And just by coincidence, this summer, together with my best friend, we created an NGO around grandmothers. And then I saw this group happening, and I was like, "Oh God, it's happening." So although we're very busy, I really want to contribute to this group as well. When I was reading through the spheres, I felt very strong calling to one of them, which is outreach, and that sort of combines the local and global feelings I have. So yeah, I mean, I want to give all I can to contribute to the.
Thank you, Marie. Thank you. Rachel? Hi, sweetie.
Hi, I'm Rachel Cox. I'm from the UK, the southeast, and I'm not sure about the heritage very much, really, but I'm also finding my home in my heart. As somebody just said, that's lovely, and I feel just very strongly to be here and to hold the seed, hold space, and figure out together. I think things morph, and I think it will morph, and we'll all find a way together. Yeah, so that's where I'm at.
And Grandmother Sharon.
I'm Grandmother Sharon Raji. I live on Whidbey Island in the state of Washington. It's halfway between Canada and Seattle, kind of where we are there in the water. Most tribes, many tribes, coastal tribes have been here. Some of them are still here, the Swinomish, Skagit, the Salish. And I always give great gratitude for Gaia herself for allowing us to be here on her home, doing what to do. What has drawn me here is the fact that Suzanne and I in 2019 said grandmothers should start gathering, and they did little bits, and when my daughter it became clear I needed to spend more time with her as she was making her transition. I asked Suzanne to take me off as an administrator. We had 1,400 women. Great, she'd been doing well. It's not a big deal. So she took me off as administrator. And 3 days after my daughter passed, I got a notice that the group was at 36,000. And so I'm here because I feel a real strong commitment to holding the strength of this group while you all come and make it even stronger than Suzanne and I ever even could have imagined it being. And so my place is just holding that core of encouragement and clarity. And I always want to see who is on these Zooms. They're wonderful to be with. Thank you.
And Carol.
I'm Carol Schaefer, and I live in Asheville, North Carolina. And it's definitely Cherokee home base, original Cherokee home base. Excuse me, there's a lawnmower going on outside, if you can hear that. And they don't say Cherokee, they say Soliki. It took them a long time to claim their language and the ability to be able to write it, have it written language. And it's a beautiful thing. I'm about 20 minutes ride up the Blue Ridge Parkway from them. And it was interesting to go and try to be immersed in it, because I found that most of them are now Southern Baptists. And there was very little that I could find of the authentic practice until I realized that it was all secret and it was all done, you know, in ritual, secret ritual. And that's a beautiful thing to respect. So my heritage is Eastern European. Maria, my family was from Russia and Poland. As the history changed, it became something different. And I'm very grateful to be here. I found this group by accident, as probably a lot of us have, in that I had tried to pull together a group. I've been an activist for so many years, working on environment and working on peace for the world. But I tried to pull together a group of what I call gray power and bring some women together. But it was very difficult because I've discovered that many women in my age group, I'm 80, have felt disempowered for way too long. And they didn't even feel like they could ask for what they needed. And so that was the task that I want to keep going with and see if we can't build local connected to this group that would embrace personal power, personal love, and the ability to spread that love and share that love within this area. So that's kind of that part. And this group, I don't know, I was just trying to plan a meeting and this came up on my Facebook feed. And it was like, okay, thank you. And that's how it was. So happy you're all here and to meet you all. Thank you.
I think I'm the last batter. It's such an honor to see all these beautiful shining souls in front of me. I'm Sandra Laub. I come from a town called Pawcatuck, Connecticut. It's the original land of the Pequots here in Connecticut on the coastline by the ocean. I'm 15 minutes from the Atlantic. I'm on the border between Connecticut and Rhode Island. The Narragansetts are north of me on Route 1. Everything that everyone has said resonates so deeply with me. My heritage is Jewish, Eastern European. I was an educator for many years, college and high school. I recently retired, and now I do full-time performing artist. I'm just recently doing a play that I wrote, trying to walk a very tight rope in between the sides on the Israel-Palestine conflagration there in the Middle East. I just did it last night, and the group that stayed, everyone stayed, were so thoughtful and so moved by what I'm trying to do, which is hold many truths at one time and to let people try to empathize with what others are experiencing, especially those who are suffering in the ways that we all suffer. And the one, so that's that's my privilege to do, and I keep doing that play, and I'm happy to share that with you. And I too, I agree with everything you've all said. There seems to be a calling that women want to be heard, they want to be healed, they want to rise, and they want to join their power with their sisters and sister grandmothers, and draw on all of the heritage power, ancestral and our progeny, if we have, and if we don't have, to draw on their power as well. I had an instinct to call for a time of prayer for peace on Sundays at 9 p.m. wherever you are. The synchronicity of being still or concentrated for a moment to pray in whatever ways that we pray, I think is extremely powerful. And I want to thank Mayana for carrying that on. So thank you.
Glad to be here with you all. I'm going to share my screen at this time and put this image, the spheres, up. This, they came to me as spheres of influence, and this group of spheres we developed specifically for the grandmothers. And there was one comment on the post about how it's too many, it's too much, it could be too hard to handle this many different groups on the council. But we really are operating from the many hands make light work concept, and that together we can do more. And if we have, okay, so our core values council, grandmother Sharon and grandmother Suzanne and myself and Sandra and Susan have been right at my right and left hand throughout this emergence. And so the core values council holds our values that the members have given and contains all 12 of these councils. And we're looking at these, each one as a seed, as an egg, like with a seed inside of it that someone will hold until maybe the right person rises to be that. And each one of these will have their own council. These are not individual positions, except that each of these councils will select someone from their group to sit in the Grand Council. This is the big picture vision of it, that the Grand Council will oversee all of the activities as we grow and meet together regularly, and they interact with each other. And I'm glad to also, I'll bring up what each one means. I think some of it's pretty clear and evident. I want to speak to the curation, and it's possible that that name will change and that will shift a little bit. We were originally thinking that we would be selecting what goes in the library and choosing how to present different grandmother teachings. And then it's like, well, it's not really curation like that. We're not being a gatekeeper. All wisdom is welcome. But it's choosing what to feature when and how to feature different grandmothers' teachings. So that's more what that group will be. LGC stands for the Local Grandmother Council Support. So what local grandmother councils need on the ground in their location is completely different from what GGC, the Global Grandmother Council support, will need. Those that are online, the groups that are online, have different service needs, so they're separated in that way. Do we have any questions yet? At this point, shall I just pause and invite a question from anyone?
I have a question about you have global action and also events.
Yes. So global action is what we as wisdom keepers pull together and present to the UN and governments and agencies and departments. How are we going to lead globally in
Okay.
this world? Because this is one of our callings, is to lead globally and to be able to present the wisdom and the guidance that we collate together and formulate into statements and recommendations for policy and law and community action. Events are when, you know, we're having teachings, we're having a gathering here, we're having a gathering there, we're going to be on the ground in this location. And my thought to start with on events would be that for our first on the ground event, we put out a call for what location wants to host us and what will they offer, and put that out to different retreat centers and groups, and just ask for submissions for who wants to be the host of our first Global Grandmothers Council on the ground network meeting in their space.
Okay.
That answer?
Yes, that's great. Thanks.
Okay. Any other questions before we move forward?
Yes. What is outreach involving? What are the tasks for that?
Outreach would be finding other grandmothers who want to join us, finding other councils that are already, you know, they're already groups, and inviting them in, and then sending out our messages, whether that be press releases, to specific people or groups, reaching out to say, how can we work together with other groups? There are many other women's groups. They're not all grandmothers. There are also groups that are not divided by men and women that we could outreach to. Our specific space is just for grandmothers and those who want to learn from the grandmothers. But we have to be able to share our wisdom with the whole world. Yes, Sharon, please.
I think that what we've spoken of as we have described the councils, you know, what they might be doing is kind of our best guess, right, Mayanna? It's like this is kind of our best guess of what but I think once that council gets together and starts to have their own ideas emerge from within themselves, it might morph a little bit, change a little bit. And so I don't think any of these descriptions are set in stone. They're more like, you know, the best guess we could come. Mayanna mainly created this really well from our conversations. But again, once we have that chairperson, that center point in place, holding that particular council, and whoever then is drawn to it, we will learn from them too what they are seeing they're able to do in that area. Is that correct, Mayanna?
Yes, and the names of them may change. What they do may change. How they work with each other may change. This is a foundational structure to start with. Everything that we have put forth is our best effort without everyone's input. So now as everyone puts input in and chooses a place where they feel called to be, then, you know, member care, that can be developed into lots of different things, how we care for each other. And one feature of our website, well, first of all, I'm going to stop sharing for a moment so I can see all your faces at once. How many of you have seen the website, the join.globalgrandmotherscouncil.org?
I think I have. I've seen them all, I think, but I don't know which one.
So, okay, so let me share this. We'll go here next. It might take me just a second to get this one up. Here we go. So we're calling Grandmother's Garden, the Global
Yes.
Grandmothers Council Network.
Yep.
Doing Grandmother's Garden. So these are the early bird things. This was our grand plan Zoom that we did on 9/9 that you can watch here on this website. And these images will shift. These are just placeholders until the full website is up and running. The free membership has a lot of benefits. There's a lot of things you get just out of the free one. In the flowers, $13 a month or $133 a year. These are the benefits you will get. And those who sign up early, whether it's even the free one or one of these others, they will be listed on the legacy tab of the website just to honor those who stepped up first. And the fruits and nuts, these are you who have groups already. You're already a leader. You know who you are. You know what you're bringing. You have curriculum. You have classes. You know, you want to have events. You want to have a store for the marketplace of your own. You want to offer something in our Global Grandmothers Council storefront that then is linked in your own marketplace. So there's connection back and forth. And things like articles in the newsletter and so all these, you can read through all these different benefits. I don't want to go through them right now, but this is our landing page website for the pre-launch. And then the full website launch is scheduled for 10/10. So I'm just going to quickly read through these 12. And if you would just feel as I read, just feel it in your heart, what response you have. Curation. This circle identifies and evaluates group leaders, content offered to the Academy, and other council members who seek to serve. They will suggest featured grandmothers month by month. The Curation Council holds the integrity of our mission and vision as it considers how we grow, who we grow with, and what content we offer to the members. Members of the Curation Council hold the foundation for the entire Grand Council. Training. This circle embodies the wisdom and expertise of members who are teachers. Under the watchful and discerning eyes of the Training Council, all teachings, trainings, retreats, and curricula carrying our Global Grandmothers Council Network brand are reviewed and endorsed. So we will have some things that are Global Grandmother Council, which will invite the fruits and nuts to each submit one thing into the branding of the Global Grandmothers Council. And we are reviewing whether branding is the right word to use because it could still be a patriarchal word. And we're really considering all of those things in everything we do. So members of our training council collaborate closely with peers in event, technology, admin, media, and member care councils, weaving together their individual strengths to uphold our collective wisdom and vision. Guidance. This circle is a beacon of wisdom, populated by seasoned members who contemplate the journey GGCN undertakes and provides counsel to the council at large. The Guidance Council stands ready to lend its profound insight to all councils when an additional perspective steeped in wisdom is called for. And these may or may not have professional degrees. It's about wisdom. Everything is about wisdom. Events. This circle is home to our seasoned members, the masterminds behind events. The Event Council, our guiding light for both in-person and virtual gatherings, orchestrates a symphony of events for members in the wider community. With a rhythm of daily, weekly, monthly, and annual events, they breathe life into every occasion, selecting the perfect location and participants for each meticulously crafted event. In their vast wisdom, the Event Council works in harmony with all other councils. Global action. This circle, an embodiment of forward-thinking leaders, carries the essence of GGCN to the world. The Global Action Council, in its role, seeks to understand the needs of the global network, always asking, how can we serve you in this moment? The Council's creativity will foster unique ways to uplift the global community. Working harmoniously with all other councils, the Global Action Council paves the way for collaboration. Global Grandmother Council support. This circle is a beacon for world conscious leaders tasked with the noble duty of networking local grandmothers' councils and fostering online experiences for global councils united by sacred subjects or actions. In harmony with all others, the Global Grandmother Council support collaborates effortlessly. So, and this one, so because our website is, you can, when you become a member of the website, you can select what interest levels you have. So the global support would be focusing on what interest levels our members have and providing things that meet those interests. Admin. This circle stands as the guardian of authenticity, integrity, and the rightful execution of policies and procedures. The Admin Council
We only got a few more minutes.
an assembly of individuals rich in knowledge and experience spanning finance, technology, marketing, publishing, production, and member reporting. Diligently, the Admin Council addresses every member interaction, communication, application, benefit, and legal structure essential for the seamless operation of GGCN. Member care. The Member Care Council weaves a web of connection, bridging the gap between members and the online world. The Member Care Council, the watchful guardian of our online realm, keeps a close eye on the participation of members, ensuring their benefits are upheld and responsibilities met. In collaboration with the Guidance Council, the Member Care Council identifies members in distress, offering the balm of professional wisdom. They become the beacon, guiding those members to the help they need. And with that, we'll want to have an advisory council that are professionals we can refer people in crisis to for guidance. And also, we just found out that the website has the opportunity for what they call jobs posting. And one divine suggested we could call it Help Wanted, and any grandmother can list what help they need. And members can meet those needs, whether they're local or not. So that's going to be really exciting. That would be the member care responsibility for that Help Wanted to match people up for needs and meeting those needs. So LGC support, the local grandmother council support. This circle stands as a beacon, drawing members toward their local and regional councils, answering the call of local and regional leaders. The local grandmothers council support, a welcoming gate for nascent councils, harmonizes with the training and guidance councils, safeguarding global standards at the local hearth. So setting the tone for what is a local grandmother's council that uses the same logos and symbols that we use, and some that don't. So there are those that are already formed. They're going to join us as a local grandmother council. And we're not going to require that they carry that. But if they want to, these are the things they'll have to do to have the Global Grandmothers Council brand, if you will, if they want that. Doesn't matter. They can have it or not. Everything we do is mutable and easy. So technology. The circle stands as the guardian of our digital realm, ensuring seamless navigation and ongoing enhancements. Their focus is on creating an environment that's clear, efficient, and always at peak performance. The Technology Council stands as the shield, safeguarding the privacy and security of our members and councils. In the spirit of collaboration, the Technology Council attentively hears the aspirations and requirements of each council, equipping them with the necessary tools for their journey, and their support is unwavering. And with this, it's important to note that the technology we're using for this website is more secure and private and safe than anything else we have seen. It's brand new, and it really protects our members from having their information taken and used in any way from the website. And outreach. This circle stands as the beacon, crafting initiatives that local grandmother councils can employ to rally local community support, while also weaving global projects that magnetize members to our online gathering. Working in harmony with the media, events, and training councils, our outreach council magnifies the message of the abundant gifts GGCN is bestowing upon the world. So, yeah, can we just go around again and everybody share what's on your heart after that? And this time we'll start with Sandra.
Diana, is there a way for, it was hard for me to hear all that. Is there a way for you to share?
You froze.
Is there a way for you to share the language of all those descriptions with us? It was hard for me to hear all of that and process it.
Okay, they are on the post written.
So
oh, I can't put it, it's too much to put in the chat.
if we were to find it right now, all of us, to read it, that's how I process things by reading. If we were to go onto the Facebook Global Grandmother site and the features, would we find it there? Or would we find it at the new website?
No, it's on the Facebook page, on the group.
Okay.
Under events for this specific Grand Council, Global Grandmothers Grand Council. Let me share my screen here. Come back over here.
Mariana, it's also under features.
Under features too?
Yeah.
Okay.
Third one down under features. So we've posted it there.
Yeah, it is there. Yeah.
Okay. So featured.
Yeah.
Here.
You scroll down.
There we are.
Oh, wow. Oh, that's
And
There
wonderful.
you go. That's
if you
it.
click see more, then I've put it in print.
That's
So
great.
Oh,
I'm
wonderful.
sorry I didn't put that up while I was reading. It would have been helpful for everyone.
I looked and looked for that last night and couldn't find it. Thank you so much.
Sure.
I think what we're really aware of is that educating each other about even what Facebook offers, how to find it, and then once we get into our website, the education of how to effectively use the website. I mean, we are in a learning curve for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Now I see it.
I'm sorry, I do have to leave for an event that I'm a part of, but God bless you all and peace.
Peace.
Thanks.
Great to meet you.
Thank you.
Okay, so we got sharing notes is done. Okay. advanced share. Okay, got it. All right. So
I'm just going to put find the seeds, values, spheres, right? I'm going to direct on the notes say they are in the featured section of the Facebook page. Because I
Yeah.
still am also locating things. Even my call this morning when I was walking, it's a learning curve. It sure is. And there's so much that you taught me one small thing this morning as I was walking in the park. And I think that we need to be patient with ourselves as we teach each other and learn how to do it. We are inventing the table as we sit at the table in many ways. And I think all the patience and all the graciousness that we can offer each other, and the room, the latitude to be here as we can. This is all volunteer at this point, right? And we know that we're filling in for each other, and just the assumption that that is the case at this point, because this baby is pushing out, has pushed out, has birthed, and is wriggling, and we're all passing it around and examining and holding and caring. It's the metaphor I've got now. So I'm going to put that in the notes, and I will, if you don't mind, I'm going to reach out to everybody's email. Is it okay, Mayana, that I share the scroll of notes that I've had since August? I mean, that was kind of process. It's a lot to read. But you can see how we've evolved and how we've spoken to each other and how I've managed to put some stuff down. And what I always do is I leave the notes editable for anyone. Anyone can edit. It's a Google Doc. So if you feel like you want to add something or correct something, if something is wrong on my notes, please always feel free to do that. It'll end up as a comment, and we'll just incorporate it. I like that idea about curation. We're all wise in our ways. We don't need to do anything but make room for each other, room and space, time and space for each other.
And
Thank
support.
thank you,
And support.
Sandra.
Yeah.
Let's go down now to Carol, and we'll spiral back up the other way. Carol Schaefer.
Yes, I'm glad that Sandra asked the question, because that's been a challenge for me too. There's so much to plow through, on the Facebook page, that I often have difficulty finding things that are important to this, the admin groups. And so thank you for that. And I'm just really looking forward to doing whatever I'm able to do to contribute to this beautiful mission that we all have. So, yeah.
Thank you, Carol. Sharon.
Are we going this direction? I'm not sure. I
Yes.
kind of yeah, it's been very delightful and heartwarming to watch what is happening just in the few months since I've been back kind of in the real world, and it's really wonderful to be able to say, I know, oh, there you are, and oh, there you are, and begin to feel that heart connection beyond just seeing the name on our Facebook group. So yeah, I'll continue to hold, along with Suzanne, a stable place for all this expansion to happen. So glad to be with you today.
Thank you. Rachel? You're muted. Just a second. Unmute.
Drawn to
There you go.
at this point.
Start over, please.
Sorry. Was your original question, which ones do we feel drawn to right now? Is that
Well,
what
yeah,
you said?
whatever is on your heart after that sharing.
Okay. Yeah. So I think I don't necessarily feel specifically drawn to any. I know that there are certain ones that I wouldn't think that would be right for me, but I still feel it's like I'm still exploring the essence of it all. So and I don't want to be vague because I hate that too. So I'm not being vague. If you want me to go decide, I would decide. But equally, I feel in a holding pattern. I feel that, and I feel, you know, very happy to come along, and hold space, and encourage and whatever's needed. You know, and I could draw out. I could go, oh yes, that one, that one, that one, that one, that one, perhaps. But you know, I'm happy to mop up as well, if that makes sense. And I feel from my experience, I personally, I'm working on it, but I get utterly overwhelmed in a nanosecond when there's lots of information. And you know, as you know, global grandmothers started to grow, and I was like, how many now? How many? And then the site started to just become overwhelming for me to look at, and I'm like, because I want to, and I feel very, very divinely led to be here. So yeah, that's probably enough said on that.
Okay, so that's me, I guess. I think it's the same. I mean, I've read through all of them carefully, and I really sat with them, with all the spheres. And there could be a few I could join, but the outreach was the one, like the energy was going all through me, and it just feels really right for me. On one hand, working already on the local ground, and even more now as we gave birth to the foundation, to Grannies of the World Foundation, and we're working with local grandmothers, because there is and it's actually in Polish, it's called the Circle for Women Elders. And Tanna, she's the one who initiated it, and she's been tending it for over 30 years now. And she was actually initiated in the US when she was still at the university, and she stayed, I don't know how long, in around Los Angeles, and she was initiated there by indigenous women, and she brought that wisdom back to Poland, and she started it here for. So we found each other, and we start working together on many projects. So there's already things going on locally, but I've been, as I said before, I grew up globally, and all my professional background was very global until I left 3 years ago. And since then, I'm sort of trying to figure out really what am I here for? And life is directing me gently, or less gently. But that's okay. It's all welcome. In speaking with many women in different parts of the world, and shaman women, because I have some shamanic energy background as well. So I feel like, I already feel like I need to reach out to this one, and I could reach out to that one and see what they're doing. How do they know about it already? Or they could, so, you know, it feels good to my heart. So if I can be of help in that place, amazing. I want to do that. And one little more thing I want to add, because I think it might be important. I've had, like, for the past 3 years, I knew I wanted to do some video footage on what's happening in Poland. So the women's circles, the local grandmother council, and tell stories of these women who've been holding that space for over 30 years. And they were in a very tiny niche for so long. And now the energy allows for all of this to come to mainstream. And my background is actually, my father is a cinematographer, my mom is a movie editor, but I've been doing all my life everything not to be in that spot, and it just circled back to it. And it is actually happening. It started happening right now. We actually
Wow.
for it, but I know the money will come. It's just gonna come. And this is a local thing, but there in my heart there's already much global seeds planted, and now I feel it's like, yeah, that weaves too. I still don't know how, but I'm sure it's gonna weave too. So yeah. And you know what? I painted it 3 years ago. I just thought about it right now, and I will share that painting with you because it's been absolutely this what is happening. Now I know it.
Hmm.
Thank you so much, really. Thank you.
We've seen so much art on the Facebook page of women who have embodied this vision that I think we can make a lot of money from it, actually, just to bring it down to it. These are gorgeous images. I already reached out to somebody and who went and I'm purchasing a print. I mean, the marketplace is really an important engine, I think, of global grandmothers. I think putting our media, the films that you're talking about, Maria, sound amazing to me. I know that there will be global interest in hearing from the women in Europe, in Poland, and I know we have other members in Europe. As the world gets more and more dangerous, it's really important to do that outreach to these women who, as Maria said, are holding the space and making the art and letting people see all that. Yeah.
Thank you.
I'd pay $11 to see you know, my great grand ancestors sitting and holding in the space. Yeah.
Mm.
So we need to figure out that as well.
Pam?
Mhm.
So, in one of our last meetings, when you first talked about these groups, the very strong voice in my head, guidance, guidance, guidance.
Mm.
And that's what I connect with right now, because what I'm seeing here is coming from East India, and while I connect with all the spiritual aspects of everything that we're doing here, it's a different aspect that I bring in. And just like in a previous lifetime, I know I've been a shaman. So I have that connection too. Although in this lifetime, I did take some courses, but didn't follow that much. But there's so much, sort of knowledge that I'd like to share. But guidance is where I strongly connect. And then, a little bit with like local grandmothers groups and things like that, a little bit here and there, where not to be a leader in that, but to be able to help. But in guidance, it's a very strong connection there. So that's where I would like to work with. That's the group. Mhm.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Kalina?
Hello, everyone again. Okay, so I'm a very creative person. I like writing. Really enjoy that. But I really think that the next generation, the legacy of love that we have, and the guidance, all of the children we are leaving a message for, all of the trauma that we have gone through, the lessons that we've gone through, that we can guide the next generation too. But we need to leave those, I say, golden footprints that they can follow. And as grandmothers, we have so much wisdom, and we have gone through so much too as trauma. And I think you coming from India and my Mennonite background, a lot of us have that very conservative, very people that really need to know that's okay to use our voice. We need to be the voice for the voiceless. We need to speak up and stand up and show we're proud and just know that it's okay. And we need to, the women that can't speak, that haven't found their voice, we need to be able to somehow. I like events too, like going out and doing things. Like last night, I was at a Latino one, and having a booth there. I've done this before with other people. Have a booth there and say, "I'm part of this global grandmothers connection and network, and I want to share this with you. I want to help
Yes.
the next generation. I'm here for you." And I can do that down here at the park. You rent a little tent, you put it up there, you get your icons up there, and you do something like this. So it's the events, working with the younger generation. What do I else have? Being on the ground. Um, yeah, there's a lot of different things I can do. I've been in admin for the last 20 years. That's not really what I want to do, but there's different parts of that I can help with. And wherever I'm best served, wherever I can use my voice, wherever I shine brighter and help you shine brighter, all of you. I can be like a sister to all of you, and sister like a star, right? That's how when I write sisters, you're my sister with a star, right? We're all bright,
Yes.
shiny stars.
And I'm just going to announce that this morning in our grand Zoomer call, Kalina stepped up to help me with volunteer coordinating.
Yay!
I've done that before and I enjoy it. And I can, wherever I can help, I'm going to do it. You know,
Thank you. Okay,
thank you.
Gail.
Thank you for the opportunities.
Thanks, Kalina.
Well, the two that jumped out for me in your circle was guidance, as well as Pam, and training, because those are the two things that are my strong points. I've written a couple of books, spiritual books on guidance, on delving into your inner pain and traumas and how to transmute it and such. My first book was translated into Greenlandic by a Greenlandic elder, and I donated it to the Greenlandic National Library to be given out for free to all the libraries across Greenland. And now she's translating my second book, which is again guidance on how to transmute your pain and suffering from past lives and present life. And the outreach part, I mean, when I was working with the Greenlandic people, I created a Greenlandic Grandmothers Council, and we presented to the United Nations last year their needs, their struggles, their culture, their joys, their traditions. And I have a video of that presentation just to help them get I mean, not that it's going to change anything for them in this one presentation, but to give them the power to speak globally about themselves. And so I have really enjoyed being on this group because I've been sharing excerpts from my different books on guidance. And daily I cast my net upon the water of 55,000, 60,000, I don't know, people. And I'm finding a great response from people and starting up conversations and putting in their viewpoint and their experience and chatting with them. And I'm really quite enjoying that outreach within the circle of guidance. And I do training. I travel the world doing training seminars. So those are the two categories that are of interest to me. Although they're, I'm kind of interested in all of them, but those are the two main ones. You got to kind of, narrow it down. So that's where I came from, what I do. And I am an initiated shaman. I trained with 3 or 4 different shamans, but I was initiated at the Arctic Circle with Angangak in Greenland. And because my ancestors are Mongolian and the Greenlandic ancestors are Mongolian, so I wanted to tap into my ancestral DNA shamanism because it seemed to be the strongest coming up inside of my cellular memory. So that's what I bring, and hopefully it's embraced. Thank you.
Then you're next.
Yeah, I really resonated with what Rachel said. But the 3 really stood out for me for different reasons. One, curation and guidance, and surprisingly, global action. Mainly because even though when I was an activist back in the 80s, 90s, and early 2000s, my work involved grassroots as well as national and international campaigns. And all of them are essential. And so, and the issues were clear cutting, indigenous peoples, fighting for indigenous peoples' lands and cultures, the whole World Bank structural adjustment issues around third world, quote unquote, countries, which is what we called them back then. And also energy, like Hydro-Quebec's expansion of dams in James Bay for power and displacing indigenous Cree people. I worked with people like Winona LaDuke and others around that particular issue when I lived in Vermont. So I really felt called to the global action. And it feels natural to me because I remember how to reach out to people, and I know I knew anyway, I know it's been a long time. Things have changed, I'm sure, but I still feel like I have the ability to deal with those things on that level. At the same time, I feel the most powerful, potentially powerful actions will happen where we live, and the changes that we make in our lives, in our communities, and then the concentric circles connecting so that we have actual physical connections all around the whole grassroots part of the globe. And also for me is an awareness of the reality of living within a living earth, living within a living cosmos. And how do we walk that, and how do we translate that in our actions and our words so that we don't have to actually speak it all the time, so that we are showing it, so that we are exuding it? So it's second nature. That's another thing. And I can see that coming in under guidance, and also curation, for what we offer. So those are, and I can just see myself doing all kinds of different things, but those are the three that if I had to pick, I would zero in on those, and then I would try to narrow it down from there.
Great, thank you. And for me, of course, I'm holding the seed for the admin.
Nobody wants to do that.
Well done.
And I appreciate Helena joining the admin there with the volunteer coordinators. Yeah. In the call, the daily Zoom last night, a member came in who's used to be a CPA, and I'm like, oh, please, please join me. So we have some real serious things that need to happen on the admin side too.
I mean,
So
I'd love to be involved more in Zooming. I think I have a personal account. I'm not even sure. But I feel totally inept. And so if I had somebody who could come and sit down next to me and walk me through how to actually do a Zoom myself, as opposed to join into somebody else's, I think that I would feel more comfortable offering things like that. I mean, I know I will do that in the future here, but I'm going to need help. Maybe
we
a lot
have
of
a
it.
recorded grand Zoom training. It's recorded how to do it. I'll share it with you.
Okay.
I'll share it with you all. So we have one more of these exploration calls that's going to be just like this on Friday. And Tana is joining us on Friday, I believe she said. So that will be wonderful to have her presence there. I've been on another Zoom with her previously and very much appreciate her presence. And yeah, we've gone over a little bit over, and I want to keep to our time as much as we can. So we're going to call this complete for now. And I really appreciate each of you and what you've brought to this council exploration. And by the end of the Friday call, we'll coalesce And then we'll start having individual council Zooms where we can dive in more deeply into what each of the spheres are and who do we need where, you know, and if we don't have the people for this one, who will hold that seat until the right people come up. And that's what
Yeah.
Rachel had said she would be willing. And, you know, that there may be more than one seed that we hold together, you know, it'll come out based on who steps up when. And it's really, I am so privileged to stand with all of you and be doing this work together. I thank you from the depths of my heart for this Dharma coming real.
Thanks, Mayana.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So,
Thank you, everyone.
Thank
so as
Have
we
a
you.
have this
wonderful day.
candle,
Thank you.
let's blow our candle out with intention. All of us together, sending our intentions out into the world. 1, 2, 3. As our breath joins together and we are one. So it is.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.